There comes a point in a woman's life when she is no longer afraid of getting older. She is afraid of one more thing breaking, one more bill arriving when there is nothing left to move around, one more message that changes everything, one more cold silence from someone she counted on. On the outside, she is the strong one, the dependable one, the one who makes sure life keeps going. On the inside, she is tired of waiting for the next blow. Maybe you know that feeling. You get through the day, you do what needs to be done, you smile when people look at you, but a part of you stays braced, like you are always waiting for the next piece of bad news. The month ends and your shoulders tighten before you even open your banking app. The phone rings at an odd hour and your heart drops before you even see the name. You sit at the kitchen table when everyone has gone to bed, hands around a cup of tea that has already gone cold, and you whisper to yourself that you cannot take one more thing. Life has taught you to prepare for impact. Even in the rare moments when everything seems fine, your body does not relax. You sleep, but you do not rest. You laugh, but a part of you is watching the door, wondering what will be taken next. You are not living fully. You are surviving. If that is where you are, I want you to know something before anything else. There is nothing wrong with you. You are not weak because you feel this way. You are not less spiritual because you're tired. You have been carrying a lot for a long time. You learned to be strong because you had to be. You handled what other people dropped. You kept smiling when you wanted to scream. You did what women have done for centuries. You held the world together with your bare hands. But there is one thing no one taught you. No one showed you how much power sits quietly in the words you say to yourself every day. Florence Scovel Shinn called it the game of life, and she said your word is your wand. It is not the outer blow that writes your story. It is the inner sentence you repeat when the blow lands. Think about how many times you have tried to change things on the outside. You read books about positive thinking. You watched videos that told you to raise your vibration. You wrote affirmations on little notes and stuck them on mirrors and walls. You lit candles and whispered prayers in the dark. For a few hours or a few days, you felt hopeful. You told yourself, this time will be different. And then something happened. A setback, a bill, a disagreement, a diagnosis, a disappointment. The old weight came back, and with it, the old sentence in your mind. Of course, this would happen to me. It always does. That little sentence seems so small, but it is like a quiet spell. Every time you say nothing ever works out for me, that figures, that is my luck. You are not just describing your life. You are instructing it. You are handing life a script and saying, repeat this pattern. The outer world is not choosing you at random. It is reflecting what you have been saying deep inside for years. There are two levels inside you. One part of you says, I want peace, I want stability, I want a life that does not fall apart every few months. That part makes plans, sets goals, decides that from Monday you will think differently. The other part remembers all the times life broke your heart, all the times you hoped and things still went wrong. That deeper part whispers, do not get too happy, do not relax. Something always ruins it. The first part is your surface mind. The second part is the deeper mind that Florence talked about when she spoke of subconscious patterns. And the deeper mind is the one that quietly shapes what you notice, how you feel, and what you expect. Here is the important thing. This deeper mind does not change because you understand a new idea. It changes because you hear a new word, again and again and again. It does not respond to one powerful speech. It responds to steady repetition. For years, it has heard you agree that life breaks you. It has heard you say, this is just how it is for me. So it built a world that matched those lines. It thought it was obeying you. Now you are going to give it a new instruction. Florence taught that life is a mirror and that you do not fight the mirror. You change what you are holding in front of it. You cannot always control what happens, but you can decide what story you speak over what happens. You can decide if every difficulty is another proof that you are cursed, or another step in a divine plan that is secretly working for your good. So I want you to imagine something very simple. Imagine that for the next 30 days, every hour that you are awake, you pause for a breath and speak one clear sentence over your life. Not a long affirmation, not a complicated prayer, just 10 plain words. Everything in my life is working out perfectly for me. You do not say it because everything feels perfect. You say it because you are handing your story back to divine order. You say it because you refuse to let the last 7 years of pain be the only voice in your head. You say it because your word is your wand, and you are choosing to wave it in a different direction. Maybe right now your mind is already protesting. It might say, how can everything be working out when I am behind on payments, when my marriage is strained, when my body is tired? It might say, this sounds nice, but you do not know my life. That is all right. You are not trying to convince your mind with arguments. You are training it with repetition. You do not need to feel that the sentence is true yet. You only need to be willing to speak it and let the truth grow later. Picture a day in your life with this new practice. You wake up in the morning, maybe before everyone else, maybe after a night of broken sleep. Normally, the first thing you would do is reach for your phone, check the time, check the messages, and feel the familiar wave of anxiety. Instead, you sit up slowly, place a hand on your chest, and you say, even if it is a whisper, everything in my life is working out perfectly for me. For one moment, you allow the possibility that you are being supported in ways you cannot see. You move into your day. You make breakfast, answer emails, get children or grandchildren ready, go to work, care for your parents, run errands, handle the unending list that only you seem to see. Every time you catch a glimpse of the clock, you pause for a breath and repeat the sentence. You say it while stirring the pot on the stove. You say it while standing in line at the pharmacy. You say it while sitting alone in your car on your lunch break, forehead resting on the steering wheel. You say it when you feel a familiar wave of dread rise for no clear reason. At first, it may feel mechanical, like brushing your teeth. You say the words because you decided to, not because you feel anything special. That is completely fine. When you first start a new habit at the gym, you do not feel strong. You feel awkward. Your muscles shake. The strength comes from returning, not from the first day. As the hours and days go by, something quiet begins to shift. Your outer life may look the same, but inside, a new line begins to replace the old one. Where before, you would say this always happens to me. Now, even if your voice is trembling, you say everything in my life is working out perfectly for me. When a small thing goes wrong, you no longer take it as proof that the whole day is ruined. You hold the new sentence over it like a light, and you wait to see how it might be used for your good. There will be tests. Florence used to say that when you make a new affirmation, the situation often seems to get worse at first, because the old pattern is being uprooted. Imagine a closet where you have thrown everything you did not want to deal with. When you finally open the door to clean it, everything falls out onto the floor. The mess was always there, but now you can see it. It feels like chaos, but it is the beginning of order. The same thing can happen when you start saying everything in my life is working out perfectly for me. You might affirm it in the morning, and by noon, your plans are canceled. You might say it as you go into a meeting, and then hear something you did not want to hear. You might say it over your finances, and then be shown clearly where money has been slipping away for years. It can be tempting in those moments to give up and say, "See, I knew it would not work." This is the turning point. In that moment, you are standing in the doorway between the old script and the new one. The old script says, "Here is more proof that nothing ever works out." The new script says, "I do not understand this yet, but I choose to believe that even this is working for my highest good." Life is not breaking me again. Life is pulling up roots that were choking me. if you can stay with that new script, if you can say the sentence again, right in the middle of the discomfort, you will feel something you may not have felt in years. You will feel yourself standing instead of crumbling. The situation may still be hard, but you will no longer agree that it has the right to define you. Over time, your inner focus begins to change. Before, your attention was trained to see only what was wrong. Your deeper mind was always scanning for the next danger, so it showed you the unpaid bill first, the unkind comment first, the ache in your body first. Everything else was background noise. As you repeat, everything in my life is working out perfectly for me, that inner filter begins to open to something else. You notice that someone offers help exactly when you need it. You notice that what looked like a delay actually saved you from a bigger problem. You notice that you handle a situation with more grace than you would have a year ago. You begin to feel that you are being carried through life, not chased by it. That is the difference between a woman who believes she is always being broken and a woman who believes she is always being guided. They walk through similar storms. The outside may look the same, but inside, one is saying, "This always happens to me," and the other is saying, "Everything in my life is working out perfectly for me." Florence would say that one is playing the game of life on the losing side, and the other has learned how to win, not by fighting harder, but by speaking differently. She taught that every apparent loss can be turned into a victory when you align your word with divine law, not with panic, not with begging, but with calm trust. When you speak a word of faith, you are not trying to twist God's arm. You are opening the door to what has always been waiting for you. Now we come to the choice, not a loud, dramatic choice, a quiet, grown woman choice. You are not the girl you used to be. You have lived through enough to know that you cannot control everything. You have seen how fast life can change with one phone call. But you have also seen that you did not break completely, no matter how hard it was. Something in you is still here, still listening, still hoping, or you would not be hearing these words now. For the next 30 days, will you let this one sentence become your hourly prayer, your declaration, your shield, your wand? Every hour that you remember, wherever you are, you pause for a breath and you say, "Everything in my life is working out perfectly for me." You say it when you are strong and when you are shaking. You say it when you are alone in your car and when you are surrounded by people. You say it when you feel nothing, and you say it when emotion rises in your throat. If there is an hour you forget, you begin again the moment you remember. There is no punishment. There is only practice. If you need help to stay consistent, you can set gentle alarms on your phone or write the sentence on a card and place it where your eyes naturally go. Let your ordinary routines become reminders. Every sip of water, every time you wash your hands, every time you open a door can be a doorway into this new word. Right now, before this moment passes, I want you to try it. Wherever you are, if it is safe, close your eyes for a second. Breathe in slowly. Feel your chest rise. Feel your feet on the floor or your body supported by the chair or bed. Put a hand over your heart, not to be dramatic, but to remind yourself that you are here, alive, and that your word still has power. Then say in your own voice, "Not mine. Everything in my life is working out perfectly for me." Let the words land. Say them again, a little softer, as if you are comforting a child who has been scared for a very long time. If this sentence touches something in you, do not let it remain just a thought. Make it a decision. Make it a practice. And if you feel ready, seal that decision in some small outward way. You can write the sentence down somewhere you will see it. You can share it with another woman who is tired of being broken. You can even speak it as you drift to sleep tonight and let it be the bridge between your weary mind and the quiet work of divine order through the night. You have spent years letting life write on you. For the next 30 days, let your word write on life. Let this one simple line be the start of a new chapter where you are no longer bracing for the next blow, but watching for the next unfolding of good. Everything in your life does not have to be perfect for this to be true. It only has to be placed in the hands of a wisdom greater than yours. Everything in my life is working out perfectly for me. Let that be the story you tell, hour by hour, until the mirror of life has no choice but to reflect it back to you.